Marcus Aurelius. The best answer to anger is silence. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. To live a good life, we have the potential for it. If we can learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. To love only what happens, what was destined. No greater harmony. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Receive without conceit, release without struggle. Be content to seem what you really are. Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. How soon will time cover all things, and how many it has covered already? Each of us needs what nature gives us, when nature gives it. Remember, matter. How tiny your share of it. Time. How brief and fleeting your allotment of it. Fate. How small a role you play in it. Nothing natural is evil. When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval. He who follows reason in all things is both tranquil and active at the same time, and also cheerful and collected. A rock is thrown in the air. It loses nothing by coming down, gained nothing by going up. If someone responds to insult like a rock, what has the abuser gained with his invective? Stick to what's in front of you: idea, action, utterance. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Time is a sort of river of passing events, and strong is its current. No sooner is a thing brought to sight, than it is swept past. And another takes its place, and this too will be swept away. What can guide us? Only philosophy. Which means making sure that the power within stays safe and free from assault, superior to pleasure and pain, doing nothing randomly or dishonestly and with imposture, not dependent on anyone else's doing something or not doing it. Yes, keep on degrading yourself, soul. But soon your chance at dignity will be gone. Everyone gets one life. Yours is almost used up, and instead of treating yourself with respect, you have entrusted your own happiness to the souls of others. Human life. Duration, momentary. Nature, changeable. Perception, dim. Conditions of body, decaying. Soul, spinning around. Fortune, unpredictable. Lasting fame, uncertain. If then there is an invincible necessity, why do you resist? Let it make no difference to you whether you are cold or warm, if you are doing your duty, and whether you are drowsy or satisfied with sleep, and whether ill-spoken of or praised, and whether dying or doing something else. If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. Do not let your thoughts at once embrace all the various troubles that you may expect to befall you, but on every occasion ask yourself, what is there in this that is intolerable and past bearing? For you will be ashamed to confess. Be like the promontory against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. It is in your power whenever you choose to retire into yourself. For there is no retreat that is quieter or freer from trouble than a man's own soul. Consider at what price you sell your integrity, but please, for God's sake, don't sell it cheap. It is in our power to have no opinion about a thing and not to be disturbed in our soul, for things themselves have no natural power to form our judgments. To love only what happens, what was destined. No greater harmony. Life is short. That's all there is to say. Get what you can from the present, thoughtfully, justly. How soon will time cover all things, and how many it has covered already? Remember, matter. How tiny your share of it. Time. How brief and fleeting your allotment of it. Fate. How small a role you play in it. When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval. He who follows reason in all things is both tranquil and active at the same time, and also cheerful and collected. The first step: don't be anxious. Nature controls it all. Do not be perturbed, for all things are according to the nature of the universal, and in a little time you will be nobody and nowhere. True good fortune is what you make for yourself. Good fortune, good character, good intentions, good actions. Let not your mind run on what you lack as much as on what you have already. Objective judgment, now, at this very moment. Unselfish action, now, at this very moment. Willing acceptance, now, at this very moment, of all external events. That's all you need. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life. You're subject to sorrow, fear, jealousy, anger, and inconsistency. That's the real reason you should admit that you are not wise. For God's sake, stop honoring externals, quit turning yourself into the tool of mere matter, or of people who can supply you or deny you those material things. As the same fire assumes different shapes when it consumes objects differing in shape, so does the One Self take the shape of every creature in whom He is present. A man, when he has done a good act, does not call out for others to come and see, but he goes on to another act, as a vine goes on to produce again the grapes in season. What illusion about myself do I entertain? The rational animal is consequently also a social animal. Glory's an empty, changeable thing, as fickle as the weather. Poverty is the mother of crime. A man should be upright, not be kept upright. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Nothing happens to anyone that he can't endure. Anger cannot be dishonest. Nothing should be done without a purpose. Even the smallest thing should be done with reference to an end. Do every act of your life as if it were your last. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Straight, not straightened. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Whatever happens to you has been waiting to happen since the beginning of time. That which is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees. To live happily is an inward power of the soul. You can commit injustice by doing nothing. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart.